the first question I have is the data center business.
Yeah.
When you see it from a, let's say, a computer professional, it's a very hard business. It's a tough business. I mean, you have customers who are running mission critical applications on your cloud or on your center. And 1 minute disruption can impact thousands of customers from that customer's perspective. You have thousands, 2,000 such customers. On the other side, when you're running a data center needs clean power, you need a support staff who is highly disciplined. You will need networking or technical staff, again, has to be of very high caliber. You have cyber security threats coming from anywhere in the world. Then the business continuity planning. So what do you feel? Is all doable in like say in city like India, or Mumbai and in India?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've all evolved, Harish Bhai, and it's a brilliant question because I think a lot of people see data centers have been around in India for 20 years, as you've seen in our story. A lot of the, if you see some of the newcomers, right, whether they're real estate players or even the government announcing real estate, data centers, etc., they think data centers are new. But really, what is different is the real key is how do you operate these data centers. The real anybody can build a high quality data center, right? Because there are standard consultants available. There is, if you have access to capital, you can build. But operating data centers, as you rightly said, is non-trivial. All the threats that you mentioned, they're all absolutely true, right? So you have to make, even if there's a single second, so you have, N+N redundancy on your UPS systems. You have N+2 redundancy on our generators. So we have enough fuel stocked on the campus so that if power goes away for 2 days, I remember in July 2005 was it, when there was that deluge in Bombay, right? There was a major deluge in Bombay. We had only one facility at that, one or two facilities at that time, and we had to run for 2 days without electricity, and we ran because we had enough fuel stocked, right? So every single possible thing that can go wrong has gone wrong, and we've tested it, and we've managed to come out unscathed. And that requires a lot of discipline. It requires a lot of training. It requires a lot of attention to detail. Even security, as you rightly said, right? There are so many threats. The number of threats, especially in this lockdown, the number of attacks, the number of threats, whether they're denial of service threats, whether there are water holding attacks, whether whether there's malware, there's Bitcoin threat, people are getting blackmailed, all kinds of stuff happening, right? And there's so many different kinds of attacks, right? That you have to constantly come up with new services. Not everything you can do on your own, so you have to partner with other companies, as I mentioned. Some of the companies that we partner with on threat hunting and EDR are companies like Net Monastery. So you partner with a lot of companies and you come up with a portfolio of services so that you can kind of, and even after all that, you will definitely get there will definitely be a security incident. There'll be some breach. It could be a 0-day attack where some software bug caused it. It could be a customer with a weak application software that got attacked. So you have to figure out how to respond quickly and address it. So that is one of the we've had the highest uptime in the industry. Literally, I can't recall. I think the only one downtime I recall in the last 20 years was when we were doing a UPS maintenance and there was an error made by somebody and that one set of servers went down. But I don't recall in all our current data centers that are running, I don't recall a single major incident from a power perspective. Then there is connectivity, right? So the two lifelines of the data center business are power and connectivity. You have multiple fibers. So you have fibers from Tata, from Reliance. So all our data centers are known as carrier neutral data centers. So we bring in fiber from multiple providers. And the way it works is that even when I started, there was only MTNL providing the last mile. And we had, this was in Nirlan campus, one of our very old data centers, which is no longer in existence today. And MTNL was the only provider, and MTNL guys cut multiple paths while digging, and they brought down, our data center was isolated. So our data center was running, but there was no connectivity, and it took like 6 hours for them to restore it. This was back in 2000, right? So now, of course, you have multiple fiber providers. So you have to build in the resiliency, multiple paths, routing. You have to take care of your routing so that even if one entire provider goes down, you have multiple paths to route your customers. Then there are denial of service attacks. So every other day, when I started the business, the security attacks were there, but they were few and far between. Now every day there are attacks, right? But we're just still running because, and now the high profile customers, whether they're top government sites or whether there are top banks or whether there are top global hyperscalers, right? Or manufacturing companies. So the profile of customers also is gone. So it's not non-trivial to get the kind of uptime that we have is absolutely non-trivial. So that's, you hit the nail on the head.